About the Electoral College, would the congressman agree that it was originally a compromise to the slave states? And if you look at the amount
absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. It was a compromise to the small states.
Which were the slave states?
No, actually, because you had Rhode Island, you had some very small states at that time that were fearful of being run over by the New Yorks.
Well, so my second part would be, if you look at the amount of votes that each electoral represents, and if you look at the least populous, like Wyoming, compared to California, Wyoming has about 500,000 people divided by 3 votes. California has about 40 million people divided by 55 votes. It's a 3 times more powerful vote in Wyoming.
That actually is the point. And you're making a democracy point, saying I want a direct democracy, and understand in a couple hundred years when there's been attempts to do direct democracies, all of them have burned up and destroyed people's rights, and minority rights have been crushed. We are a republic. Understand, we're representative democracy. We're a republic.
Right,
and for a state like for a state like Arizona, where we have 9 members of Congress, plus then you get the ones for your 2 senators, we get a vote, but we also get a voice. Wyoming gets a voice. If you went to a direct vote, 500,000 people in Wyoming, who cares? You have neighborhoods outside L.A. that have more people than that. You never, ever, ever talk to Wyoming. They're gone. Idaho's gone politically.
What you're saying then is those neighborhoods outside of California, who cares about their vote? Because for some reason Wyoming people count more than LA.
No,
they count 3 times as much. That's a fact right now.
It was an elegant concept to make it so the entire the entire country got campaigned to. That look, Arizona this year, we had how many visits from Hillary Clinton, how many visits from their proxies, how many visits from Donald Trump, because our 11 electoral college votes mattered. Not our population. It was because of that math. And if your goal, you have to be honest. You have to be brutally honest. If you want to go to a popular vote, say goodbye to the vast majority of the country ever seeing, hearing, talking to one of the candidates. Because I just campaign.
I mean, the cornfield of Iowa will get visits, but there's no people
Once again, okay. So now you're making the argument that I want a direct democracy. The minority populations, whether they minority be rural, small state, or others.
So David, there's 2 Davids. DA. So what you're saying is it's okay for presidential candidates to ignore less populous states. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what you're saying.
They're ignoring most populous states. They don't have to go to California, and so they can ignore 40 million people.
It gets even more perverse than that, David. It's in California where the Democrats going to win. And win overwhelmingly. You spend every dime in California not actually campaigning. You spend every dime in California doing voter turnout to maximize your population that's already functionally a sycophant to your ideology. And you might do the flip side in Texas. You functionally have just completely turned the incentive in a presidential campaign upside down, where some of it's not even campaigning now. It's go to populations that you're already going to win that state and overwhelmingly just try to push up turnout.
This is my concern, I guess. Let's put it this way.
All right, one more, David. I got to go.
All right. In California, one popular vote, one electoral vote counts for about 700,000 people. In Wyoming, it represents about 200,000 people. The majority of the states, when you look at the map, are where the small states are. They're mostly, let's get into it, they're mostly non-minority populations. They're mostly white populations. So those voters, those states, get 3 times the voting power for president than do minority centers like L.A. and New York. So I'll take my answer off the air.
Thanks, Dave.
So it's fascinating. So his definition, you see what he just did. His definition of minorities if you look like someone in L.A., you deserve the representation. If you happen to be a minority, which means I'm a rancher, I'm a rural guy, I'm a farmer, you don't count as a minority. You don't get a voice. It's just that is exactly what the authors of the Constitution were trying to avoid, was the tyranny of the majority. That's why we're a republic. It's so whatever minority group, whether you divide it by someone's race or religion or region of the country, actually gets a voice and gets to participate.